challenging was your team selection today?
Entonces hay ocho ausencias en un lugar del campo.
So we have 8 defenders less.
Y 3 delanteros menos.
And 3 forwards less, and I can't deny that that's a difficulty.
Pero tampoco puedo justificar la derrota por las ausencias.
But I can't also justify the defeat due to the absences.
First half we were stretched. Had to rally at our time and come out second half and show a fighting performance. And the only positive really is that. We dug in second half and give it a good go. We can show a lot of attitude and desire and try and be as aggressive as we can and play the Leeds way. So I think second half is something that we can take forward.
I think we did our job and we played so well. I think it was a great performance from our team. I was trying to score one more, but the most important thing is the victory and the team.
It's been a really tough week, but really positive in terms of performances and results. So to come away from home and perform the way we've done, score 4 goals and win the game, we must be happy today.
We were the only game today, obviously. Is it important to win it and get that little gap with other teams not playing?
Absolutely, because it puts pressure on them. And as well, I said to the boys, we were really lucky that today we were playing with everything that is happening and how many games were postponed. Listen, guys, enjoy, give the maximum, give everything you can out there, because I don't know how this is going to develop.
No, none of us do. But after the match, Arsenal manager Arteta confirmed they'd reported an alleged racial incident. Gunners substitute Rob Holding approached the 4th official in the 33rd minute, saying he had heard racial abuse from a Leeds supporter. It is very disappointing because we have done so much in football to try to avoid that, Arteta said. The situation existed and was reported. It has to be dealt with by the authorities. I have nothing more to say about it. So, not great news off the pitch, but on the pitch, another excellent display from this very impressive young Arsenal side.
Confident, dynamic, energetic. I think it's benefiting them not playing in Europe. But settled team. They've not had any injuries, no COVID cases of yet, which fingers crossed for them. And it was a really, really good week for Arsenal. They seem to have found their form and things look good for them. They've got selection headaches, they've got players competing for places and some terrific youngsters.
Yeah, indeed. Their young players are actually a joy to behold, aren't they? They're lovely to watch, play some great football. You could have picked any of them. Martinelli obviously bagged a couple of goals. Saka was great again. But in the end, Martin, you went with another Martin in Ødegaard.
I did, Gary, and I will say that when he first came to the club, I wasn't the biggest of fans, but I have to change that opinion now because he's really is developed. Every movement that he has to receive the ball, first class in that Arsenal midfield. Of course, you've got the front three that we know, Lacazette coming deep, really clever in the game. But he's growing in stature. Look at that for a lovely little pass there. His confidence is really high. Managers backed him. Smith Rowe's been on the bench recently. And he just seems to keep getting better and better, controlling things now beautifully from an Arsenal. But look at that reverse pass. Martinelli making that run from out to in, as he was always available throughout the match. Again, look, points where he wants it, lets it run across his body, and he's away attacking. This one, he scored a few goals lately, so he hits that one. Doesn't quite come off for him, but he has that in the locker now. And Arsenal really reliant upon him. He's direct here. This is when they're going to put this one away, and he just goes into another gear here. Doesn't come off for him on this occasion. Look at that for a pass. One touch. Saka, who also was magnificent today. I mean, Martinelli and Saka were also first class. A sloppy defending, didn't get tight enough, and then Saka punishes them. And for me, he just seems to get better and better. Smith Rowe comes off the bench again to score another goal, as he did in midweek. Look at this for a lovely little dink pass through there, wasn't it?
Isn't it?
And finished with aplomb. And there's a man getting better and better. It was at Real Madrid, and it wasn't really happening for him. Yeah. But Arteta has found the best for him.
End product, Gary, for him. Yeah. When he first came, he was looking OK without the end product. Now he's scoring goals. And if you play as a 10 in any team, you've got to score goals.
Yeah, OK. Leeds, on the other hand, they've had a tough week. What's gone wrong?
Well, they've lost their best players, which doesn't help.
No, it's
confidence is low after the defeat at City. I mean, we weren't looking at Leeds' performance at Chelsea last week and being overcritical. It was a great performance. They lost for a soft penalty in injury time. Yeah. So we don't want to be too dramatic, but today was chaotic. They tried to play the same system they normally play, which is man-to-man, and it just went completely wrong. Mixed with individual errors, you're going to have a problem against a confident Arsenal side. First goal, You don't want to concede the first goal when confidence is low. You give the ball away in your own half, but the back four's in shape. This isn't a tactical problem. Give the ball away in your own half. You're asking for trouble. The two central midfielders are in position. They get back. Look, you've got 6 there, 7 players. They win it back inside the box, dwell on the ball, cardinal sin, and you're a goal down.
It's just an individual mistake.
Individual mistake, nothing tactical. Then it really got problematic. Centre-half, Cocky's high up, following Lacazette, man-to-man. That has a knock-on effect all over the pitch. Spaces start developing. Forshaw playing that holding role, vacates the space. As you see, drifts over to Ødegaard. That's his job. Dallas has been asked to look after Saka. Too late, he's coming inside, not sure. There's the space. Forshaw left. You've got the right-back, Drama, young lad, trying to cover Koch. They're a metre apart. Rafinha ends up at right-back, trying to chase Tierney. They're all over the place. It's disastrous, and this went on and on and on.
Clever from Arsenal players, though, to move them out of position.
Gary, exactly. Lacazette, brilliant the way he did that with the centre-half. He dragged him out of position. This is the two midfield players, completely strung out. The shape's all wrong. It's not conventional. You know, if I was being asked to do that, if I was still able to play, it'd be a nightmare. You make yourself second favourite. This is the other centre-half, Ayling. He just comes flying out, and Arsenal just flood into the spaces that they come from. It was just a matter of time. Full-back again, drops across to cover that space, and they get punished. And this was happening time and time again. And this man, he's been a magnificent coach over the years, but this unconventional ways that he plays, man for man, all over the pitch.
It's worked the last couple of seasons really well, and obviously, I suppose when you've got young players coming, it's not so easy for them as it is the experienced ones that are used to it. No,
I think yes. I think you have to adapt to the players you've got and the opposition who you're coming up against. To ask those players, who some of them haven't played hardly any games, to play that way against such good opposition was too much.
Too much.
I think if Leeds play their best team, the way they've been playing for the last 18 months, they'll stay in the division comfortably.
Yeah, too soon to panic, that's for
Yeah,
sure. Some debate about possible red card for Granit Xhaka. What did we make of it? I mean, he's got this in him, hasn't he, occasionally?
He needs to eradicate this side of his personality. He's come back into the team. He's a really important player. They're 3-0 up at this point, and he dives in like this. He just needs to stop doing it. Andre Mariner.
What do you think?
Really
red or yellow or amber?
I think it's a yellow. I don't think it's a red. It's downwards.
But the thing is that just a minute later,
they're both yellows.
Did that, and he got a yellow card, and it wasn't probably as bad as the Xhaka one, was it? Very similar.
Similar, both yellows for me. I think he missed the first one. Yeah. I don't think it's a red. Xhaka. Sometimes, you know, what he's done before goes against
they're
him.
Carbon copies, aren't they, really?
Yeah, they're both yellows.
Yeah. 5 games postponed today. Where are we going with this? Can you see the season dying out, or what's going to happen?
I pray not. I feel for the supporters at the moment who are travelling up and down the country and getting games called off 2 or 3 hours before kick-off. Yeah. Surely we can put something in place that stops that, first and foremost. But then what happens next, we'll have to wait and see.
OK, well, the Premier League have launched a campaign for fans to get boosted, so hopefully that will help. Seems like good advice for everyone.
Well, now you know why Ian had that wide grin on his face at the top of the programme. I mean, Arsenal were quite sensational.
Was it? Yeah, I thought it was just a nice smile.
He still got it, look at him. All the damage was done in that first half, Ian. I mean, 11 of their 14 shots on goal were on target, and to put away 3 of them... actually was the least they deserved.
Could have been more. I thought Lacazette had 2 really, really good chances, not half chances, proper chances. And Arsenal have been starting very fast like that. The problem they've been having is that they've been kind of sitting off in teams. They've got themselves back in the game. But fortunately for them today, Leeds were nowhere near that. But like Arsenal started with real bad intention right from the off. They put them under pressure. Yes, they gave the ball away. But the main thing is that they got punished in these instances. You know, you look at this situation where, you know, Leeds players, he's a man on the book, there's hardly anyone around him. Forshaw leaves Ødegaard, he goes towards Ødegaard. I don't know why he's going towards the play where he should be dropping back and maybe stopping them. Should clear it now as well, doesn't clear it. So a lot of things played into Arsenal's hands, and like the manager was saying there, the players, they gave the ball away a lot, Leeds.
There was a shout for a foul against Adam Forshaw by Lacazette there. Anything in it for you, Steve?
No, he stands across there. He doesn't make contact with Forshaw. Forshaw then sort of barges into the back of him and falls over. Lacazette should be able, as a forward wanting to win the ball back, he should be able to make that type of challenge without creating a foul, and I was fine with the goal, to be very honest. VAR looked at it and thought exactly the same. This is the second goal. It's an awful ball. Leeds shirts running one way, a blind ball across the park. Arsenal pounced on it. Drama's going, trying to think about counter-attacking and getting forward. And just one bad ball played across the middle of the park has just left Leeds wide open. But this was the tail of the first half. This happened 10 times in the first half. And as Wright said, Arsenal could have exploited them more and more and more. Arsenal could have been 5-0 up at half-time, and it wouldn't have been an injustice to them at all. It was that easy for them.
How good was his finish for Martinelli?
Well, it's brilliant because the touches are what's giving him the opportunity to do what he's doing, so he's in total control of that situation there, man. The goalkeeper's hoping that he makes a bad touch, but he doesn't. And then, again, you look at that situation when we look back at it, and you're praying, OK, can Arsenal finish it off? In the end, they do. But again, like, the manager must be he's tearing his hair out, because when you look at this, there's Forshaw leaving Ødegaard where the danger is, because he's the one who's going to play the main ball into Saka, who spins off of his man, Dallas. And then once it gets into that area, now they're all backtracking, and it comes down to, can they finish? They get a little bit of luck, maybe there with the ricochet, but he gets it, and then the luck there with the deflection as well. But I think they deserve the luck.
Yeah.
They deserve the luck, what they got today. Great stuff. Wasn't his greatest game, Saka, but like, he done enough today.
Yeah. Leeds got themselves a lifeline from the penalty spot to make it 3-1 before Emil Smith-Rowe, just like against West Ham a couple of days ago, came off the bench and made a telling contribution.
Yeah, he did. It's something that he's obviously got his mind made up that, OK, if I have to come off the bench, I'll come off the bench and do it. And it's the attitude you should have.
Yeah.
Because he can recognise, they can all recognise now that Mikel Arteta has kind of found a formula. And like Emil Smith-Rowe must be thinking to himself, well, I want to be in it. I haven't done too much wrong. Do you know what I mean, Steve?
I agree, mate.
So, and so he must be saying, right, the only way I'm going to do it is coming off the bench and showing him scoring goals, because that's what Arsenal need. Goals from other areas, because you can't put all the onus on Aubameyang like we've seen. Now we've got Saka scoring, Martinelli scoring, and Emil Smith-Rowe scoring.
Nice, isn't it, the fact that he makes all you can do is make an impact off the bench. Great attitude on the lad. He scored goals against Leicester, he scored goals against West Ham the other day. But you come on, he must have been upset that he was back onto the bench. But when you come on and you're called upon, he could have easily just went through the motions today, because they were never losing the game. But to come on and make an impact was brilliant of him.
And Arsenal guaranteed a top 4 place on Christmas Day for the first time in 5 years. Are you surprised or pleasantly impressed with the way that they've matured?
Yes, certainly the latter. Pleasantly impressed. Watched them lots of times, and each time I've watched them, I've seen an improvement on the last. And I watched them at the beginning of the season when they lost to Man City 5, and it was really poor performance. But since then, they've got a settled team, and they've just gone better and better and better. A tough game today turned into one of the easiest they'll play all season.
OK. Well, one disturbing story which emerged from Ellen Road on that game is that the Premier League will be investigating alleged racist abuse that was aimed at the Arsenal bench from a section of the Leeds supporters during that first half. Referee Andre Mariner was alerted to the incident, as you can see, by Arsenal substitute Rob Holding just after the half-hour mark. And this is what Mikel Arteta had to say about it after the game. Well, if those people are found guilty, they will be duly punished. What do you make of that?
I think you have to applaud people like Rob Holding. When you're being racially abused, it's very difficult as a black person to get up and do that without people kind of coming down and piling on and say, oh, here he goes. So for Rob Holding to do it for his teammates is something that me, being in a dressing room and knowing what that's like, wanting that kind of help, it's fantastic. And what should happen now is he should be found, should be able to find him, because he's there for everyone to see, prosecuted and banned. Simple. It's not going to be tolerated. Zero tolerance. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's you get the fact that they're frustrated, the fans, they're angry. You get all of that with the first half performance, and when the Leeds fans, when the Arsenal subs were warming up and the players celebrated with them. I get the fact that they're angry and they're upset and blah, blah, but you cannot shout stupid comments like this. And as you said, there'll be people who have heard it, there'll be fans who will have heard it and probably told them to stop, or here to stop, whoever it may be, and they'll be found and they'll be kicked out, and they won't be able to go to a Leeds match again in the future, and it's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
OK. No time or space for something like that in this day. No.